Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. This episode I got my brother Jack on the podcast. Jack is what I would call a social media influencer, semi-famous. He's got around 5.5 million followers between his accounts on social media, him and his fiancee Megan. So he's my best friend. We obviously grew up together, so we're really good friends our whole lives. And we gave some stories from our childhood and stuff in here. It's a longer podcast for me, about an hour and a half. Unfortunately, the audio got messed up and didn't record correctly, so we don't have super clear audio. We only have the audio from the camera, so I apologize for that in advance. But I wanted to post it anyways because I thought it was some good stuff that he talked about in there and things. So without further ado, here's my brother Jack. This is the Christian Morrison Show.
Get absolutely destroyed, dude. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the podcast today. I'd like to say that we have one of our favorite members of the show on here. His name is Christian. So a round of applause for Christian. Woo!
Appreciate that. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I've known Christian for about 24 years, something like that. I'm his brother, so I've known him ever since I was born.
Are you 24, 25?
Huh?
24?
I'm 24.
Okay.
Yeah, you should know this. You're my brother. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it about me. I had a great time. So thank you for letting me on the show.
Thanks for being here, man.
Absolutely.
We should just get some time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Cool. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, guys, if you guys want to reach me, all my info is below. So
Yeah, I'll tag his Instagram.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, dude. It's been fun.
Yeah. I think that was a good segue into our next topic.
Yeah, okay, what's our next topic?
Hamburger buns. Sesame seeds or none?
I would have to say definitely none. Well, unless it's a Five Guys burger. I don't know if
It does have sesame seeds, huh?
Yes, you're shaking your head. Five Guys top tier. I know people who
You
say
said no? Or
Yes.
yes? Okay, good.
People say they hate Five Guys. I'm all about it. I think it's great. Do I think it's overpriced? No.
The fries.
You think
fries.
it's properly priced?
I think it's to the fries.
Fries are amazing.
I think it is properly priced.
Cajun fries or regular?
No.
Regular?
Thank you. See, I'm on the same wavelength here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't think. Oh, sorry. Do I need to get closer?
No, you're good.
Okay. So I really do like Five Guys.
Dude, that's probably the clearest audio of the whole podcast right there.
Wow. That's really nice. But yeah, across my leg.
Yeah, same. It's more comfortable.
It is.
Are these chairs? I keep going back about
These are the greatest chairs ever.
Are we too close though? Our feet? See what I mean? Look, we can cross.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Christian Morrison Show today.
Every one of my guests, we just cross our legs.
I think it's great for foot massages if you're into
Yeah, I am into that.
that. And that type of thing. You know what I mean?
I'm into giving.
I'm a feet guy myself, but not like that. You know what I mean? Just like in the bedroom. Yeah, I'm sorry. You can cut this out. I apologize.
I'm not gonna cut anything out, dude.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cut any of this out. Rated R all day. So yeah. See you buns.
Alright, for real, welcome back to the Christian Morrison Show. I don't do an intro, but maybe I should create an intro.
Yeah.
This is Jack.
Hi
Morrison
there.
here, my brother.
I'm Jack Morrison, his brother.
Some of you maybe seen him. You were actually the first podcast I ever did, remember?
Oh, with my sweater?
With your sweater?
Bright sweater? Do you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, it was like real horror. So it was so bad because these mics have a front and back to them, and I had the mics in the back, and so you could barely hear us. Yeah, we were so quiet. Yeah, it was so quiet.
That's crazy.
We did them upstairs in my office in the little leather chairs. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
And in the community room.
No. We did one in there too. I never really.
Is this your office?
Yeah.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
This is nice. I
You
didn't
just noticed where we were.
I didn't know we were in his office. I'm sorry. Okay. That's my bad.
Just snap back into it. Are we in a room?
Oh my God, where am I? Sorry if I'm being too loud for all the neighbors and stuff like that.
They
out
can
there.
suck it up. They'll be fine. Up there.
Up there.
There's no one above us, dude.
Yeah, there is. There's people above
No,
us.
there's that way. It's like a whole different building.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Jack's a very observant person. So.
I'm extremely observant. I knew we were in his office.
Random question. Do you have the timer going?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, she had it going. She said it right.
Keep
from
her
the
on.
beginning.
Watching
Chat,
it
man.
on the computer.
That's all right. Just checking. I just.
I'm
thought
so
of it.
sorry. What is your name?
Spencer.
Spencer.
Spencer. S-P-E-N-C-E-R?
Wrong.
Okay.
S-E-R.
S-E-R, not S-E.
Okay, S-E-R.
It's.
You didn't really say it wrong. She just spells it wrong.
When I spell things in my head, I tend to remember them. So that's...
Yeah.
There you go.
But I spelled it out loud and in my head, so...
That's awesome, dude.
You know, so...
I've read a ton of books on like how to remember people's names.
Yep.
And I go back to the spelling it out too. I always spell it in my head,
I go back to the classic.
which is what.
And that my strategy for it is they say it, and
Yeah,
then
I know
I
you're
go,
about to have
and then
some
I say,
bullshit.
what's your name again? And that's how I remember names.
The worst thing ever is when you're talking to somebody and you go,
I got those, Spencer. Yes.
"Hey, I'm Christian," and they go, hey, I'm Jim. And 3.5 seconds later, you're like, what the fuck they say their name
I
was?
think their name was Thornton.
Yeah,
but
you're
I
like,
could be wrong.
You're like, I'm like sitting there, they're talking, I can't really hear them, and I'm trying to remember the damn name they
I
said.
literally black out when
Yeah, I'm
people
like,
tell me
oh
their
my
name.
god, I hate that actually.
Yeah.
I used to have this.
What did you say?
I used to have this go-to where I'd ask them to spell their name for me.
This what?
If I forgot the go-to thing, like
Gozy?
what? Listen, just listen.
Okay.
I used to have this go-to thing.
Right.
Whenever I forget someone's name, I'd be like, spell your name for me. Is it spelled normal? And then then they'd be like, well, no, it's spelled, and they'd tell me how to spell their name, so then I can remember what their name is.
I got called out so many times with that happening.
Okay, but it happened. The one time it happened to me was he goes, normal, B-O-B, Bob.
Oh no! His
And
name
I
was
like,
Bob.
And I was like, okay, I just wasn't sure exactly.
Hey, nice to meet you. What's your name again? It's just B-O-B.
How do you spell your name?
Just Bob.
Is it spelled normal?
It's Bob.
Yeah, you spelled it Bob, B-O-B.
Oh,
And
it's
I was
not
like-
B-A-W-B?
And I was like, I think I was like, you never know. So I just like to make sure.
These days, these kids running around, dude, you never know what's going on.
21st century, you never know what's going on.
I've gotten called out about 3 times on asking people for their names. And they're like, how do you spell your name again? You know what I mean? And they're like, it's, John or something like that. And then I decided just to suck it up and say, hey, I'm so sorry.
Forgot your name.
What's your name?
That's what I do too.
You know?
Remind me of your name again, that's what I
You
say.
remind me of your name again? Yeah.
I always remember their face. I always remember their face.
Yeah.
Don't you?
People's faces?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Like it's easy to be like, I know I've seen that person somewhere.
Who are you? No, I'm just kidding.
Are we in your office?
Over this.
Is this your office? This
Yeah.
is nice.
But yeah, no, that's cool. I do like mustard though. I'm a huge fan. It's always good on hot dogs for sure,
Back to the beginning. Yeah.
Back to the beginning.
Took it back to the beginning.
Yeah. What do you mean bring it back to the beginning?
You just brought up mustard randomly, so
It's good. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm on podcasts a lot, so.
trying to figure out what to talk about.
No, not really. I think I have too much things I'm thinking about right now. I'll be honest with you.
What's the number one thing you think about all the time right now?
One other thing I think about all the time right now is how I can be better at what I'm doing.
Which is what? How'd you just? Someone says, "What do you do?" What do you do? How do you describe it?
All right, here's the best way to describe
Go,
what I do
let's
for
go
a
for it.
living. I make entertaining videos
Mm-hmm.
on the internet
Okay.
with my fiance.
Yep.
That's it. That's all you gotta know. Know what I'm saying?
And you stream video.
No, I'm kidding when I say that because it kind of comes off like, entertaining.
I think that's exactly what you do.
I mean, it's exactly what.
It doesn't come off anyway, except for exactly.
Spencer, do you know what joke I was going with there?
Yeah.
Okay, she knows the joke.
She's full shit. She thinks you're cool. That's why she said that.
Thank you, Spencer.
Yeah.
I think you're cool too.
She doesn't know where you're going with it. No one knows where you're going with it.
Basically, I've had multiple people when I've said that before. I'm like, oh, I make entertaining videos on the internet with my fiance, Megan, who's amazing by the way. She's the best thing in the world. And
Good safe. That was safe. I'm good.
Megan. But yeah, so people are like, oh, I think their automatic thought goes to like, unfortunately, I think a lot of times it goes to like, oh, they make sexual videos on the internet. When I say that, because when I try to simply explain it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, basically just entertaining videos on the internet with my fiance. They're like,
See, I wouldn't think that at all. I would think exactly what you do.
we met multiple people that literally think that.
Got it.
I mean, I have at least. And then
That does make sense.
someone was like, does it rhyme with Schmolnischmans? And I was like, no, it doesn't rhyme with Schmolnischmans. You get that?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I get you.
But yeah, it's no. Basically, we're just you could say content creators. I don't really use the word influencer too much, just because it's kind of like I don't know. We make videos. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Comedy
Comedy videos.
Yeah, comedic couple videos. We mess with each other a lot. Sometimes we'll do like different skits to sounds, that type of thing. And then yeah, TikTok is our biggest platform, and then we do Instagram and YouTube as well. And I stream usually 5 days a week. So
Jack Morrison TV.
Jack Morrison TV.
Is that your streaming?
On Twitch? Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a good one.
I play one game. It's called Apex Legends. I play it probably 20 hours a week. That's all I focus on as far as like streaming goes.
Let's take this back for a second. I was just
Okay.
thinking this would be
Sorry.
kind of cool. No,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to hit your for super close. I apologize. Dab it up. Let's take it back to, let's say, 10, 11, somewhere in that range when we were like in Indiana. Okay?
Okay.
Walk me through your mental space and like what took you up to making videos, like the process in your brain, the steps that led you to there. You know what I'm saying? through our childhood and stuff?
I don't even know. I'll try my best here.
Yeah.
The mental.
The first thing I'll tell you, the first thing I remember maybe help you get on this train. First thing I remember about you, entertaining wise, because our parents have always said you're an entertainer.
Right.
Right.
Since I was in middle school.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
First thing I remember was James W. Peterson.
Oh yeah, James W. Peterson.
That's the first character.
It was a character I came up with
Yeah.
a long time ago, Spencer.
And he went compounding on this character. And just created it.
I came up with the character when I was a kid. That he was a guy by the name of James W. Peterson who only wore yellow.
Yep. Jumpsuits and stuff.
Yeah, and owned half of Colorado.
Yep.
So that was a character I came up with when I was younger.
And he would do the skit. You would do the skit in front of. Anytime we were at someone's house,
yeah,
he would
friends.
do the skit. Yeah.
You know what's funny about that?
What?
I was literally shitting myself every time I was about to do that.
He's so nervous.
Because like mom and dad would be like, "Oh, do the thing," and
Yeah.
I'd be like, you know, I'd be scared for my life, dude. And I think it's kind of funny because like being scared of that stuff, people think that like your fear of that stuff like changes, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you just get more adapted to the fear of it, in my opinion. Yeah, and I obviously played video games as a kid a lot. I mean, a lot of people my age did play video games as a kid a lot.
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah, and so that's like part of the streaming thing, you know, kind of relatable to that. But yeah, I mean, people were like, "Oh my God, you're always like trying to entertain people, blah blah blah." But I don't think I was one of those annoying kids. I'm sure I was annoying at that point, yeah. But I don't think I was one of those annoying kids who were like, "Yeah, watch me," you know what I mean?
No,
And they just like wall
You
twerk.
weren't like needy enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't like needy on it. It was more so people would tell me to do it. I'd be like, okay, sounds good. So I don't know. I feel like my thought process was anything when I was a kid. My thought process was, I can make someone laugh, you know? And then if I did that, I felt good about myself for 5 minutes.
Right.
And then kind of moved on with my life.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I don't know, I guess I kind of always have been like that. I never really thought about this, I'll be honest with you.
I know. That's why
I guess as I got older, like when I started working at Sonic, the reason I rollerbladed at Sonic was because it was more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because I necessarily liked it, which sounds really weird.
Yeah.
But it was more so like, like the people, I guess I just wanted attention. I mean, if you think about it, ultimately, in a way. But, I mean, who doesn't want attention, I guess? Some people don't. Introverts, I guess. Which I feel like I'm slightly introverted.
We both are.
Yeah.
I always say that I get energy from both. Like, I mean, you can get jazzed up around people.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
But also, I
want to, for sure.
Yeah, but I also love to have my alone time. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I just feel like I'm super. I this past year and a half, I feel like maybe everyone has because of COVID. I don't know if you guys have, and all that stuff kind of dying out now. But I feel like I've been super introverted, and I've spent a lot of time at home, which has been a blessing though because it's given an opportunity to focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because whenever I'm out and about, hanging out with people, having a good time, I'm not saying I don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
But I hardly do it anymore.
Yeah, same.
And it's not that it's a bad thing. I think it's a great thing to do. I think it's great to have balance and stuff like that. And I wish sometimes I would balance myself more. Am I close enough?
Yeah.
Okay. You probably can't even see my face. 'Cause
You can pull that. You can pull that screen down.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
There.
Like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you probably, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of like blessed that I was able to stay home a lot and like focus on stuff. Sorry if I skipped ahead a lot on
do your thing.
history. I don't know. I got to the point where, I was working at Sonic doing that, and then I immediately started doing real estate with you when I turned 18, and then I just didn't like that. I'll be honest with you. The scariest thing, but the thing I did like the most was probably something along the lines of like door knocking, stuff like that. Was the scariest thing in the world. Don't get me wrong. Like, hey, it was like, you know. But I did enjoy that, and that's how we got our first few deals. So that was cool that we were able to pull that off. But definitely not anything for me to make like a living off of. And then worked at Sonic, fast food restaurants, that type of thing throughout high school and stuff like that. And then DJing, I think, really helped me.
Yeah, totally. That's what I was going to say.
Because then I started wedding DJing, and that was when I worked on the border. And then I just got that opportunity from that. And then I was like, oh yeah, wedding DJing would be fun. And then I just kind of rode that for like 2.5 years.
You didn't do that long, did you?
Did I do it that long, or did I not?
I think you only did it for like a year and a half. No, you're right. Maybe it was 2.5 years.
Yeah, well, let me think. January to Yeah, like 2.5, I'd say. Yeah, 2.5 years, and then I did a lot of weddings.
You know you're still heavily requested in the Black Hills?
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is cool.
I ran into someone who. Well, you were there for that. Never mind. Wait, were you there for that?
For what? The video in the mall?
No, not her.
No.
No, not her. It doesn't matter. Anyways, someone. I thought I ran into. You said you saw someone at the DJ wedding or went to my wedding. My dad did.
Okay.
Sorry. But. Oh yeah, no, I did. I'm sorry. We were at Crate, and then we had 2 women come into Crate, and then they were like, "Hey, you actually DJ'd my sister's wedding." And Megan was right there, and they're like, "We actually follow you guys on social media."
That's
as well.
super cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I was like, "Hey, awesome! I hope you had a good time, huh?" And she was like, "Yeah, it was alright. It was, it was pretty fun." And I was like, "I did terrible, didn't I?" But she didn't mean it. I think she just had that personality more so. She was
yeah, that's fine.
She was like, "Yeah, it was good. Good time." She
for
wasn't.
for her, that probably means it was amazing.
She wasn't a bridesmaid or a bride or anything like that. But she was like, "Yeah, because I've been to weddings where I'm like, it was a good time."
Yeah, it's fine.
But I think DJing helped me out a lot with what I do now, with getting my personality more fine-tuned, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not that you have to fine-tune your personality, but more so, I feel like you have to unlock who you are as a person over time. There's different layers to you that you find.
It's also, it takes time. It takes time to get comfortable not being fucking awkward on a camera. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I look back at my old videos before I really started doing content creation, and I would have my phone here, be like, "What's up, y'all?
Yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
we're going to the gym." And I was like, "Why did I talk like that, dude?
No.
Like, who am I talking to?"
Yeah.
But
But if we didn't do those stupid videos we used to do,
I agree.
now we would be that awkward.
I agree. 100%.
Like I see people that are between 25 and 45,
Mhm.
just starting out on video, and I'm like, I just can't
It's
stand to
difficult.
look at it, dude. It's just so cringy.
But it is difficult
Yeah.
to get used to it. Absolutely. It takes time and.
I used to video myself every morning.
What?
I videoed myself every morning, randomly, just for
Mhm.
a few minutes.
Really?
Just to get comfortable looking at myself on camera and
Yeah.
being recorded.
Absolutely.
That's how I got comfortable, I think, personally.
Oh, for sure. I also think it helps to do certain things, to get me comfortable, especially when I first started streaming, is would be more I don't know. I would if I heavily I don't know how to explain it. If the louder I am, the more comfortable I'll be in certain situations.
Yeah.
So if I scream, I'm like, "Oh my god, that's crazy! Holy crap!" It makes me get more comfortable in that situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And then kind of just go from there, and then you kind of unlock your nerves, and you
Yeah.
aren't sitting there shaking
Yeah.
anymore. It doesn't affect me anymore.
I have to crack some kind of joke to start getting loosened up.
I usually crack the stupidest jokes,
Yeah,
dude.
same.
100%, and no one's laughing. You know what I mean? It's just awkward silence. Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of just an interesting situation that I've been in for a little bit now. And
You know what I always remember?
What?
Whenever you were here, because you moved to Maryland in what year? Was that 2020? 21.
What's 2022? January 1st, 2021.
Okay, so a year and whatever months ago.
A year and a half, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jesus, sorry, May.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when you were leaving Maryland. So when you were leaving Maryland, you had 800,000 or 900,000 followers on your personal account. 600.
No, I had 480.
So about 500,000.
Mm.
Okay. But I remember you were like, "Yeah, I'll go up there with Megan. Within a year, we'll have 1 million followers." And you didn't even have an account together yet.
Right.
In January of 2021, you didn't even have an account yet.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Yeah, within a year, we'll have 1 million, and we'll make a living off it full time."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know why, but I was like, "Yeah, makes sense." I was like, "You will."
I just felt like I just knew. I don't know how I knew it.
But you actually ended up having 2.5 or 3 million by the time that year was up,
Yeah.
instead of 1,
Yep.
which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Triple what you thought.
It was pretty cool because I was like, remember Megan talked to me and she was like, "What if we just turned your account?" My account was all over the place. I mean, you know, one day I was doing a video that got
Unboxing
300,000 views, and the next day I was doing a video that got 200 views.
Yeah.
It was there was no base.
But for a year and a half straight, you did videos every single day on TikTok
Right.
to learn it.
Right.
And then you learn everything you learned from that year and a half. You were like, "Okay, I'll just implement this into our page,
Yeah.
and it'll be clean."
100%.
Yeah.
And we made all of ours was just clean.
Yeah, just clean. You knew exactly what your focus was.
And I will say that Megan has a very, very great understanding of human beings and how they view videos. I would say we're both not like insane at reading people or anything like that. Because there's a lot of times where I'm like, oh, I think that person really likes me, and it turns out they hate me.
Yeah.
Like, and that happens to me sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
oh
true.
yeah, Caleb, like he really likes me, and then I'm like, oh, a friend tells me like, oh, you know they hate your guts, right? And I'm like, oh, that's kind of sad. You know what I mean? Oh, yes, I like Caleb. But she has a really good understanding of what looks good and what doesn't. And she's probably more detailed now than I am about videos. And specifics and stuff like that. Now I am detailed with things. Like, don't get me wrong. She'll like make a video on her account. She's like, hey, what do you think about this? I'm like, I think everyone's gonna think it's boring. But that's how we talk to each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Going back to what you said, like, knowing that we would have that, I just kind of looked at it as, I was like, okay, well, if I can build this very sloppily
Yeah.
in a year and a half, then I was like, Megan and I can definitely
Focus
do this.
again on
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any expectations on it. I didn't.
Megan, we talk about this so much. We have, me and you both, if we like the whole, from like when I was 17 and you were 15 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
up until the last few years, me and you were so much in the self-development space.
Mm-hmm.
And self-development space is like, set goals, set goals, set
Mm-hmm.
goals. And the rigid way they tell you to set goals in that space didn't work for me, either of us.
Right.
I feel like the first year me and you both decided not to do that and do like our own approach.
Mm-hmm.
Is the first year we both did really well.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have any expectations either in the last 2 years.
If you have, yeah, I don't know. Goals work for some people. But
They do.
Maybe it just doesn't work for me setting them down. Everyone has goals.
I have like a vision in my head.
Yeah, you have a vision in your head.
Yeah.
Right, of what you want.
Yeah.
But like, I think a huge thing is with your goals, in your visions, is you don't tell a single person.
I agree.
Don't talk to anyone about it. Don't talk to your parents about it.
Mhm.
Don't talk to your brother about it. And I'm not saying I can't talk to you about these
Yeah.
things, but I go back to if you talk about your goals and you say, oh my God, I'm going to hit, like I told you, I was like, oh yeah, I think we can really do this.
Yeah.
Like I guess I told you that.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all I said to you. But if you go around constantly talking to your friends about, oh dude, I'm going to be a full-time streamer. I'm going to be a full-time content creator. Like I'm going to do it. Like I'm going to do it. They're going to go, that's so awesome. You totally got this. Then you get that validation.
Mm-hmm.
Then you kind of get comfortable. And you get this, it's like this weird cycle never ending of asking someone something because you want their response. You get the response. And then you're good.
Also, I think people, so the validation thing you said,
Mm-hmm.
there's like it's like popular to talk about getting hate. Like,
Mhm.
oh, screw the haters, dude, they give me fuel, whatever. But I think it's more damaging for you to get compliments and to take compliments to heart. I think you have to completely ignore compliments and completely ignore any hype about you or anything like that. Anytime someone has ever said like, oh, you're killing it, oh, you're doing great, I'm like, dude, ignore this. I ignore that so hard because I'm like, that is irrelevant.
So that's very relatable.
Yeah.
That's very, very true. So a good example of that, like something I experienced with that, is Megan and I got to like 700,000 followers
Yeah.
within like a month and a half of
Yeah.
us starting.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh my God, you guys are just blowing up so much right now. Like, this is insane. You know, you're the next Charlie D'Amelio or something. You
Yeah.
know, people saying stuff
Yeah.
like that. And one thing that Megan and I were about, we were like, oh, I mean, yeah, we could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all we said about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like we've always dealt really well with like, I don't know, if someone's like, oh my God, you've like, what does it feel like? I'm like, I don't, it doesn't feel like anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And I hate that at the same time though, because when you start out, you think to yourself, and you like look up and you're looking up
If I could get a million
huge
followers.
skyscraper, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
If I got up there, my life would be amazing,
Yeah.
right? And then you get up there and you're like, why am I still buying, off-brand Cheetos? You know what I mean? Because you don't
give it. It doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Not everybody does that though.
What do you mean?
Not everybody does what we're talking about. Like
No. Not everyone does that. I know a lot of people who don't care.
no, what I mean is not everybody does like. Some people get to a point like where you're at, and then they'll eat that up, and
Right.
it gets to their head, and they buy it. They spend all the money they make, whatever. You know what I mean?
So a good example
Some people do that. For
is
sure.
that we have a lot of good friends in like the social media world, and they're all pretty much all of the couples,
Yeah.
right? Just because that's the content that we're in.
Yeah.
But we have met some people that do have the mindset of they believe that if you are getting to that point, then you uphold that image. You buy the Tesla, you buy the bag, you buy the Gucci belt, you buy the stuff like that. And if you want to do that, I get that because it does sell.
Yeah.
It does sell. And like if you see a YouTube video where it's like buying my fiance a $6,500, pair of shoes or something like that, that is intriguing. Yeah. Sure, it is. Because I don't buy it. I'm not gonna buy Megan a cigar or pair of shoes. That's the last thing that I buy her. Okay? Buy her a bottle of perfumes, 1 ounce. You know what I mean? Call it a day after that.
From Target, right?
From Target perfume.
Yeah.
And it's like there is some people, and that is a strategy though. I think 100% it is selling a lifestyle. That's a strategy. But then you also have selling your personality. You have stuff like that. Selling your adventures, which is, I guess, a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Megan and I are very personality based.
Yeah.
On our accounts. And it's not selling your personality. That's not what I mean. But just like.
Well, I think people assume also like your type of content that it's like an act.
Right.
For a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
People always ask me with your content. It cracks me up. Actually, they're like, "Are they acting or is those real pranks?" And I'm like, "Who knows?"
And to be honest with you,
I think you guys are good at that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like with a lot of that stuff, it's, Megan and I we always talk about this, we always talk about we want to try to be our absolute 100% selves in our videos. Like, that's our most important thing.
Yeah. You guys are the most fake. But I'd say you are definitely exactly how you are.
Yeah.
I don't know Megan well enough to say that's exactly how she is.
That's exactly how Megan is, 100%. When she's around you guys, she's
more timid.
Yeah.
She's
not 100% comfortable with you.
I'm pretty intimidating. Dude,
and the reason I know I'm that way too, 100%, and it's hard to see yourself on camera and be like, is that me? Because, you know what I mean? Is that how I am?
Yeah.
But, like, her dad, her parents, stuff like that, are like, they tell every single person that, like, recognizes her, be like, oh, is Megan your daughter? Like, because of Megan and Jack? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, is she actually like that? And, like, she's like, yeah, 100%. She's exactly like that. Specifically, if anyone's seen her ADHD videos. I don't know if anyone's seen those. Have you seen those, Spencer? Okay. That is Megan to the core. My God. She is the most spaz person ever. Like, especially behind the scenes. Like, we'll be laying in bed and she'll just, woo! Out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? She's like, sorry, I'm just waking up. And I'm just like, what? And then she, like, goes and walks around and, like, swigs a coffee. And, like, it's just, she's, like, so crazy in a good way.
Yeah.
And that's why I think she's so good at content, too, because her brain is in a million places at once.
We need to take a quick pause.
Did I mess it up?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay.
I just see the peaks and I can match up the audio.
But yeah, no, she's phenomenal, I think, at all of it because I think if you have a very, like, I work on something for 10 hours mindset, content is still, you can still do content, right? But it's like, she has such a good burst of, like, 30 minutes. Like, 30 minutes, she's, like, the most creative person in the world because of her ADHD brain, which I'd like to say that I kind of thought ADHD was slightly a myth before I met Megan. Sorry to all the ADHD people out there, but I was kind of like, nah, you're just hyper, you know what I mean? Until I met her, and I was like, oh my God, I've never seen, it's the most real thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm serious, dude. But she's great at it because she's like, she has these bursts where she's like, I'm in the zone, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, do it, babe. And then she does it. She just focuses. Like, sometimes she'll go in the room for an hour. She's like, I just made 14 videos for my account.
And you're like,
and I'm like, oh my God. She's like, I'm gonna make you watch them all. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? It's like all these, like, videos and stuff like that. Whereas I'm more so, like, always at the same creative level.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, I consider myself always at pretty good creative level.
Neutral?
No, I wouldn't say neutral.
That's way better than neutral.
That's not what I mean. But I feel like I've trained myself to always be at a good creative level. I haven't always been like that, but I'm saying, like, I put it to where I can go, okay, I'm right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that I think no matter what your personality is, there's a place for you on social media, personally.
Totally.
And there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I just wouldn't be good at that. I think you'd be good at something. Absolutely. Doesn't mean you have to make people laugh.
Yeah.
There's tons of creators who don't make a single person laugh.
Yeah.
Like, you watch them and your face is just, you know what I mean?
Or you watch them and you're pissed.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah. There's like people that have total content around, like,
making you mad.
Pissing you off. Yeah.
Who did that recently that was really good at it? A lot of people got mad about the Island Boys.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Just like that.
You know?
They've kind of dropped off quick, dude.
They have, because they kept doing the same thing.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people run into the
They
issue.
went too far. Yeah.
And something that, like, Megan and I kind
You
of...
gotta adapt like crazy.
You gotta adapt like crazy, 100%. Something that Megan and I kind of have talked about a lot is we got to 2 million followers within 4 months, right? And we were like, okay. And then you hit a wall. Almost every creator I've seen that does the same thing we do hits a wall. And then they keep making the same thing over and over and over and over, and it just slowly goes down. Slowly goes down. And so the content that Megan and I did at the beginning does not work anymore.
Yeah.
In a way, it probably does, but it just not near as well. And so we always talk about how we were like, the first 2 million, that was easy. We were just like blessed. Like we were like, whoa.
Timing, everything.
Like timing, everything. We just were like, we made a video every day. We were very consistent about that, because when you have that first video pop off, if you aren't making a video the next day, then people are going to start swiping away and being like, oh, I found a different couple. I found, so on and so forth. People follow you after they watch like 6 of your videos. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
They don't follow you after the first video.
Yeah.
They might.
Yes, they do.
You think they do after the first video? You do? Okay, well maybe they do.
I'm on the same trend as you though. I don't follow people until I've seen a lot of their
And
content.
maybe they do. Spencer's got a good point. Maybe they do.
Some people do.
Some people are like, that was such a great video, I'm going to follow them immediately.
Yeah.
And granted, I have done that too. I will agree.
Same. Yeah. Usually it takes me time though, personally.
Yeah, and to me, I should say this. I shouldn't say for everyone. To me, it takes me watching the video, 5 different videos of them,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, I keep seeing them. Let me follow them real quick.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just a handful of different options. You know what I mean?
Probably is.
Yeah. So I feel like from 2 to 4 was
Million.
the most grindy thing that we've had to deal with, and we've had to think a lot more. We've had to put in a lot more effort because from figuring out how to get to 2 to 4, because we've seen so many people, and Megan and I have talked about it. We've examined it. Seen so many people get to that mark and then it stops and they never go anywhere else. And the opposite of growth is dying.
Literally. Yeah.
Literally. So we were like, oh, okay, how do we do this? And then we started posting on Instagram. We didn't really post on Instagram or YouTube, so we hit like 1.5 on TikTok.
Right.
And then we saw that Instagram Reels were doing good. YouTube's doing all right. It's YouTube. I started streaming consistently, and all that stuff has slowly grown, but it's become such a dense following on all those platforms that it's like now we have something on each of those platforms, which I'm really thankful for. I don't know why I was getting into that. I guess I was just kind of ranting off
No, you're good.
on how we grew and what we've done, but there's always going to be life events that boost your stuff. I'm sure our wedding, will
Boost views and stuff
views,
like that.
yeah, somewhat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like you never know. It's not like 20 million views or anything like
Right.
that. I think that's getting really difficult on TikTok now. It's 20 million views, 30 million views.
I mean, everybody. It went from Gary Vee was like perfect on his timing for this. Remember when he said 18 months is all that was left to like go viral, and that period's over now. And now it's like really hard.
Now it's difficult. Yeah.
Now it's basically like Instagram almost.
Yeah, we get more views on a lot of our Instagram reels
Same.
right now.
Yeah, I do too.
We've had videos on Instagram to like 7 million views that got to like 1.5 on TikTok, which blows my mind.
Yeah.
Because whenever we first started, Instagram was nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you post...
I think everybody switched from focusing on Instagram to focusing on TikTok because they saw so many people getting famous. And they were like, oh, I'm going to go do it too.
Yep.
And then everybody's there now.
So Instagram now needs attention.
Who do you think has more... I'm curious if TikTok and Instagram have the same amount of users. Let's see. What do you think?
I'm sure TikTok has more.
You think TikTok has more users than Instagram?
It's more entertaining.
Because it used to be like
Instagram or TikTok.
I hate Instagram Reels.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
just my demographic.
But it's also rewatched
Yeah.
TikToks.
Right, it's
Usually.
like cycled through. It's like 2 months behind.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know like 30-year-olds would rather probably use
Be on
Instagram
Instagram.
because it's comfortable to them.
Yeah, there you go. It's comfortable to them. That's a huge thing. People are comfortable in certain things. And Megan and I just started posting on Facebook.
Instagram has
Top-
1.3 billion. TikTok has 1 billion.
Okay.
Pretty damn close.
But we just started posting on Facebook too.
Yeah.
And we probably should have been doing this a lot earlier. Definitely should have been doing this a lot earlier. But I don't like Facebook whatsoever.
Yeah. I use it for business.
Don't enjoy it. I think it's complicated. I think it's
Very complicated.
it's 90% ads. You know what I mean? That type of thing. The benefit of TikTok is it's just there's nothing as beautiful as the For You page.
Yeah.
Because you literally get what you watch.
It's like you don't get to really you don't really search for anything on TikTok.
No.
It's just kind of whatever you like to watch. It just learns.
Yeah, and basically the following page doesn't exist. I don't know if
Yeah.
you use it, Spencer.
Not a lot.
I've never used it.
But the only reason I ever use the following page is because I'm accidentally on there.
Same. Same.
I accidentally click it, and I'm like, why am I seeing
The
these
same people.
videos? And then I'm like, oh, well, my fault. You know? No one, in my opinion, 95% of people don't use it. That's what's so cool about TikTok, too, is because you can directly see within a few days if your video is good or not. Because Instagram, it's harder to tell if your video is good or not. Now it's not because videos are a little more viral. But if you have 200,000 followers and you have a good engagement on your followers, you're going to get 200,000 views on your Instagram.
Yeah.
If you have 200,000 followers on TikTok, you're going to get 2,000 views if it's a bad video.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
You literally could. If Megan and I went on our TikTok and I was like, ramen, and that was the whole video, it would probably get 20K views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everyone, it would be a couple comments that were first, second, third, you know what I mean? And then the one bot who's third, I'm the hottest, click my link. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just, it's a whole, I don't know, it's interesting. That's all I think your original question was, what do you think about the most? And then I started obviously telling you what I thought about it.
No, I mentioned you getting, what you told me was, I don't remember where we went with it, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry if you usually talk more on this.
I don't talk much at all. No,
okay, gotcha. But yeah, that's kind of been Megan and I's journey with it. And I'll be completely honest, it feels like constantly every day I wake up, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I what I mean by that is I've had friends reach out to me. Out of 90 people that I've talked to about how to make videos, they're like, how can I go viral? How can I get a video to be good? I've had 3 people actually listen. And I will say, not that I'm building mega content creators out here with my knowledge, but I have helped a few people, and they've done it, and they've gotten some good views.
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends got 400,000 views on a gaming clip the other day. And granted, it was at the end of the day, it was him. But he just kind of listened to somewhat of what I was saying and then stayed consistent with it. And then Will, another friend of mine, did the same thing, and he's got some good views. It's just kind of cool to see that what you say actually somewhat works, And then gaming content's been really difficult. I think it's one of the more difficult.
It's grindy.
It's one of the more, because it takes the most time.
Yeah.
Out of everything. But it's also really rewarding. So, I just want to grow what Megan and I are doing, grow my stream, and I don't really have a desire for anything else in life.
At the moment?
Yeah.
Where do you think you guys will end up living? Don't know?
No.
Stay there for a while?
Stay there for a year. That's how I look at it. We're in Delaware right now, and we're by the beaches, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it's just like anything else in life. You get somewhere, you're like, oh, this is cool, but you're still doing the same thing.
Dude, no matter, people talk about it all the time, oh, I want to move here, or people that are born and raised in Rapid, let's say, they're like, oh, I'm ready to get out of Rapid, dude. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, they don't realize it. Me and you luckily realize it because we've lived in so many places growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Every place is the same, dude.
Yeah.
You get in a routine, you live in a house, you eat food, you do something for work.
Yeah.
Every place is basically the same.
100%. I completely agree with that.
In a small town in Iowa, you could have just as much fun as in LA.
I agree with that.
Yeah, you could also hate your life in LA and love it in Iowa.
Everywhere I've ever moved, people say the same thing. We get to Lewis, right? It's by the beaches. I don't know if you know where Lewis, Delaware is.
No one
doesn't
does.
matter.
Yeah.
It's no one does.
No one's ever heard of us.
Rehoboth Beach is somewhat popular, but on the East Coast.
Yeah.
East Coast,
never heard of it.
East Coast, there's oceans of really nice beaches, and no one even knows.
Yeah,
it
never
exists.
heard of it.
Okay,
never even
we get it. We get it. But we moved there, and then we go to Starbucks, and then this one lady recognized us within a few days there. She's like, "Oh my God, I follow you guys." And I was like, "Oh, that's so awesome." And then I charged her $20 for a pic.
Yeah.
But no, she was like, "That's so awesome." She's like, "What are you guys just visiting?" I'm like, "Oh no, we moved here." The classic response. What was it?
Oh, why would you move here?
Why would you move here? I hate it here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could do that in the dead center of LA.
That's what
or
I'm saying.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Like, I hate it here.
There's nothing to do here.
There's not. See, you look around, you're like, what the hell? You know what I mean?
Beaches, mountains.
Yeah. And they're like, this is the worst thing in place in the world. I'm like, people say it everywhere you go.
They do. Everywhere.
No matter where you go, they're like, you hate it. I hate it here. Whenever we were here, I actually probably heard it less here. I met more people here. They're like,
I love South Dakota. You know what I mean? I'm gonna raise a family. I'm gonna get a job. You know what I mean? I've met more people like that here. I feel
Yeah.
like.
I don't know.
There is still people like that.
Most people that say that aren't from here. The people that are born and raised here hate it just like everybody else.
That's
I feel
fair.
like, yeah.
That's fair.
Nah, I'm just gonna get out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Get out of here, and then I'll make it.
Then I'll make
I'll do it.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
But yeah, it was pretty funny when I first moved in with Megan, because I remember I was completely broke. Well, not completely. I had like $2,700
Yeah.
in my savings,
Yeah.
which without having a job and not having a place to live,
It's
and-
broke.
That's like, oh my god. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're like, I got about 2 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Till it's over. You know, and everyone's like, hey,
I
let's
think
go.
it's cool you stuck to your guns though, because everybody's trying to talk you out of going like just get a little job while you're there.
What do you?
When you first moved there, get a job.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. But you didn't do it.
No, I didn't. Which I'm not saying I necessarily recommend it, because it's like, but it's almost like I didn't care, and I actually wasn't that stressed about money,
Yeah.
because
You could have got a job, I guess.
I could
at
have.
any moment.
I actually applied at Hallmark.
What, the card place?
Yeah,
Why?
Because I thought it would be decent.
I thought it'd be easy.
Yeah.
I looked in there. I applied online. They gave me a call. Like, hey, we'd love to interview you, right? This is when Megan and I hit like 1.3, 1.4.
You trying to get a job at Hallmark when you had 1 million
It
followers?
doesn't matter, dude. I didn't have any money. Okay? The thing about like content and all
I know,
that
people think you make way more than
is you don't make money from views.
I mean, unless you're on YouTube, unless you have if you have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, good for you.
You're killing
Okay?
it,
You're
yeah.
making money. Congratulations. But on TikTok, you're like, sweet. What now?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then you like, you know, your brands are reaching out to you, offering you, you know, a
$25.
a bracelet in exchange for a video. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I mean, I'm down, but like, give me
We throw in a G in there or something?
Can you give me $50, please? That's just all I'm asking for. But it started, you know, picking up more and more, and then we were sticking to our guns more on prices and that type of thing, and we started making a little bit of money. Our biggest thing was we got this little tiny weeny TV show.
Weenie
Teeny
TV.
weeny TV show. On Pluto TV.
I remember this. Yeah.
Prank Academy, go check it out.
Yeah.
I can't find it. But
you tried to find it again?
no, I've watched it before.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I
we
think-
watched it live.
I know, but I'm saying I think there's reruns, but I'm like having a hard time finding the reruns where we're in it.
That's not good.
And it's a great, nothing bad. Pluto's great.
Please resign us.
We want to work with you again, please. But that was great because we had this. We did 4 episodes, and we had this consistent little bit of money for each episode that came in. And I was like, sweet, like we
Yeah.
finally had a little bit of money coming in.
Yeah.
And with the first little chunk of money we made, I didn't set aside a single thing for taxes.
Yeah.
So, which we could, I mean, not a big of a deal. I figured we'd make it back, which we did.
Yeah.
But that was kind of nice when we started like doing that because we were getting paid for something that had nothing to do with our videos.
Right.
Which I thought
Yeah.
was great.
That is awesome, actually.
We got a lucky break on Snapchat. Really helped us out in the beginning. Snapchat Spotlight, which no one uses.
Yeah.
And we made some money from that when there was the opportunity there. Which turned out some of our friends made like 4 times what we made.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by that. From
Yeah.
like one video.
Yeah.
Like people were making like $50,000 for one video.
On
On Snapchat.
Is that over?
To my knowledge it is.
Okay. Interesting. Does the Snapchat just try to push?
Snapchat was trying to push real hard on their For You page of theirs.
Got it.
And when I originally started it because one kid was on a podcast and he was like, I made like $2 million in the past few months from Snapchat Spotlight. And I was like, wait, this is going to be a joke, right?
Yeah.
This is totally BS.
Yeah.
So I look it up. I look at his videos. He's posting 150 times a day. And every single one of those videos was a Minto dropping into a Coke.
150 times that day?
Dead serious.
Oh my god.
And I was like, oh my god. I'm not going to post 150 times a day.
Yeah.
But I was like, but he's making that much money?
Yeah.
And it was like 100 views, 100 views, 100 views, 100 views, 100 views, 4 million views, 100 views, 100 views, 100 views on his account on Spotlight because it was like some videos just got pushed and they were like 6 seconds long. 6 seconds long. What? That's the whole video. And I was like, there's no way, dude. There's no way people are making this much money off of Snapchat.
So we
Anyways,
just tried it?
yeah, so I tried it and then we made a little bit of money. We didn't make that much,
Yeah.
you know, but we made a little bit of money and I was like, babe, I sent her like, I forgot it was. I think I sent her like, is it okay if I talk about like,
I don't care.
okay. But I sent her like $2,000.
Don't talk about money, dude!
I sent her
Don't
like
give me numbers!
I sent her like $2,000 one day over Venmo, and I was shaking as I was sending it to her. And I went, babe, I was like, this is from Snapchat. I was like, this is half of what we got from Snapchat. You know. And I kept like 60% because she spends a lot more than me. So I was like, this is bad. And I put the other little bit in our savings. That's why I did that. But I said her like,
you had actually been like 100.
this is half. Oh, it's half our money. No, but she could see what we made, so it doesn't matter. But I sent it to her, and then she called me. She's like, "Are you kidding me? There's no way. Are you kidding me?" This is at the time that Megan had like $120 in her account.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she was like, "Oh my god, let's do something. Let's eat some dinner tonight. Let's eat some dinner."
Was that like chicken tonight?
Yeah, let's have chicken instead of ramen. And I was blown away by that. And then I thought it was the sketchiest thing ever because I was on some weird website. I looked at the reviews of the website to hook up my bake info, and it was like 2.3 out of 5 stars. I was like, this is bad, dude. I was like, I'm gonna get lost, lose everything. But I had nothing to lose. I had nothing to lose.
Lose my $100.
I had $300 in my account, so I was like, worst case scenario, Hallmark comes through. I would like to point out also that I did not get the interview at Hallmark.
Wow.
I went to the interview. She asked me a bunch of questions.
What was his name? I'm just kidding.
She was nice. And she's like, what's one of your, like, your biggest accomplishments? And I named off, I was like, oh, my fiance and I recently just got to like 1.4 million followers on our TikTok. She goes, oh, wow, that's impressive. And I was like, oh, thanks, blah, blah, blah. I was much more like, about it then than I am now. And then she was like, sweet, well, this looks like a good position for you, and we'll give you a call. And I was like, sweet. Nothing. And then I called them, and I was like, hey, just checking up on my application. Oh, yeah, well, we'll give you a call. And I was like, oh, okay.
You can just tell me no.
Well, yeah, blessing in disguise, I guess, that Hallmark didn't call me back.
Yeah, that would have been
I might
crazy.
be sifting through cards right now. No, but I mean, I wouldn't have cared. I would have worked there for a little bit, got a little bit of money, and then just quit when I needed to. I don't know what I was going on about. Snapchat, Spotlight, making a little bit of money. And then I sent it to her, and she's freaking out. It was cool, though.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And I would like to say that video that made us that money was a video where I went, hey, honey, because I thought it was crazy that she can bite straight into her, like, freezer
With her
popsicles. She'll eat them. She'll go, and I'm like, that's like that chocolate bar from SpongeBob, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah.
And she does that with like frozen bars, and I'm like, you're an absolute maniac.
That would hurt my teeth.
Yeah.
So
I was
bad.
like, get out of here, leave. So I was like, oh, honey, I filmed it, and I was like, hey, look at this, guys. And she went, and I was like, that's ridiculous. That's what we made the money off of.
This random ass shit.
I was like, what the hell is this at, dude? And then I was like, oh, let's do some funny stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I was doing some real funny stuff on there. It was like 50 views.
Flopped, yeah.
But the popsicle, what I mean? Maybe it was like some weird thing where guys were like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? But like, you never know.
Yeah.
You just see some of the comments that we get, dude.
On that popsicle video?
No.
In general.
Just like DMs and stuff. It's ridiculous.
We need another quick pause.
We got 10 minutes.
We got about 10 minutes left, dude. But it's just, it's weird dealing with certain things, like messages I get, like where people are like, and it's messages Megan and I get, but like, I don't know, some guys will reach out and be like, hey, would you consider doing OnlyFans just for, your really dedicated followers? And I'm like, no. I would. I mean, to each his own. Like, if you do that, we have friends actually that do that. And that's great. They make good money off of it. They make a lot of money off of it, actually.
Yeah,
They make a lot. I'm like, good for you, dude. Go for it, honestly. Like, I don't see how it affects anyone in a negative way. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you want to do it, do it. But just Megan and I just don't want to.
Yeah.
It's
It's weird that even like people on your channel is the least.
with very wholesome stuff.
Yeah, like I don't know why they would ask you guys that. You know what I mean?
Well,
Some people are weirdos, dude.
My fiance's banging. Okay, I'm just facts, dude. She's very, very attractive to me, and I can see why.
To me.
To me.
Destiny gets so mad when I say that to her.
Why?
I'm like, God, you're so beautiful. And if I slip into me, she's like, oh, just to you?
My fiance's hot.
To everybody.
Everyone.
I don't know why she gets so offended by that. But she does.
I don't know. I guess everyone has their different opinions. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to say my fiance's really smoking, and you're just like, damn straight.
Oh, yeah, she is, dude.
Oh, man.
Glad you said it.
Glad you said it first, you sly dog. But, like, I don't know. I've had stuff in public, like, where, like, we'll meet up, and then, like, there's a group of guys, and then they'll be like, one of them will be like, oh, I've seen you on TikTok, but they're in a group of guys, so they won't be like, act like it's, they will, oh yeah, I've seen you before.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you I've seen you, but I don't really care. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then like one time this one guy was like, as they were walking away, 'cause he was too scared to say it, then he was like, hey, your girl's fine, bro. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't bother me, but like, it's more so the messages of people being like, hey, I'll drop a couple thousand for a private OnlyFans. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's tempting, you know? It sure is. How much? A couple thousand.
In
Wow.
this economy?
Yeah. In this economy.
With these gas prices?
I mean, hell yeah. I think it's actually, yeah, it's interesting. But it's a lot of our followers and a lot of our community, you could say, is very, very, very kind, very giving, very friendly. I'm
You
very
guys don't get much
yeah.
negativity.
No. When people were like, F the haters, Megan and I are usually like, what haters?
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Because, I mean,
Like 1 in 1,000.
well, you can sift through our comments, 600 comments on a video. You can sift through, and yeah, sure, if you scroll down, it has 0 likes.
Yeah.
A comment is like, this is so cringy.
Yeah.
Or, this couple, why do they act like so cute to each other? You know what I mean? And I've been doing that stuff since I was like a kid.
Yeah.
Like the whole like, oh, excuse me, whole like calling like dogs mush and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And
That's
then
all
I just,
totally been you.
and that's just what I do to Megan
Yeah.
now. I guess I'd call her pet names. It is pet names ultimately,
Yeah.
you know. But we do it to each other. It's just how we communicate. I'd say we're even more nuts behind the scenes.
Yeah.
For sure. Like we'll scream in each other's face, like we're like, I love you. You know what I mean? Like we literally do that. That's like actually a morning routine.
Good morning, I love you.
No, that's a good one.
That
That's
was-
how you
yeah,
do
that
it
was
right there.
solid.
They didn't hear that other one.
Look good on sound waves.
Did it?
Sweet,
The waves went
sweet.
up? That's good.
I know. I know sound waves, so I know how to clap. But yeah, I don't know what I left off on there.
Me either. I don't
Great
know.
followers.
Yep.
No hate. And we don't get a lot of hate. I'm very thankful for that. Also, a lot of our following, at least people that stop us like on the side of the street or something like that. Not that we're on the side of the street. But thank you. I thought that was funny also. But it's, they'll be like, they're usually our age. The oldest we've seen it was actually when Megan was by herself. So he was like 55. He was like, I think I've seen you on the internet before. And I was like, where have you seen her at, dude?
I don't know why you acted so suspicious of this guy. How do you see my wife on the internet? My fiance on the internet, dude. Bro.
You wanna go?
You follow her on Facebook?
You follow her on Facebook or something, dude?
You want to try to friend request?
You should not follow her.
Do you see? You know you have a Facebook account?
Yeah, we made one.
I know. I mean, like you personally have one with like a couple hundred friends just floating out there in the ether. I wonder how many freaking friend requests you have on that Facebook
There's
account.
probably not that many.
I bet there's at least 2,000.
Maybe.
I guarantee
Maybe.
it.
I haven't been on that Facebook account.
That's what I'm saying.
Decades, dude. It's been forever.
AKA 2 years.
Yeah. It's been forever.
I
Decades.
was gonna say decades. He's 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been alive for decades.
I mean, I was back when I was 4 years old. I think that was the last time I was on there. But yeah, screw Facebook. No, I'm kidding. Facebook's cool. Shout out to Mark Zuckerberg if you're watching this.
He's definitely watching it.
He's on the roster for sure. He's always
He
watching.
usually watches mine.
He comments on my videos a lot. It's an anonymous. It says user 1235, but we know it's him. You know.
You can just feel it.
Yeah, he gives us a couple bucks every now and then. It's pretty cool. But yeah, no, we've had some really fortunate things happen through content creation. We've also had some really sketchy things happen through content creation.
What's really sketchy things happen?
Scams, people trying to get us to fly out for TV shows that actually aren't existing. Like we had this one offer for this one TV show. We were really excited about it because we were like, oh, we get to be on a TV show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was kind of like a Survivor type thing.
Okay.
And then it didn't. Basically looked it up and there was nothing about it, and we kind of learned that it was not real. And I was like, what would happen if we flew out there?
Yeah, that's sketchy.
You know what I mean?
How much were they offering you? Do you remember?
They weren't offering us any money, I don't think.
No, just to be on the show.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very possible at the end of the day, the people who just are wanting to do the show
Just don't have the funding and stuff like that. Or something?
just don't. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like one of the weird things where it's like, oh, we got our show on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Where it's
Yeah.
like people say they have a show, but it's like it's YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
Yeah.
no hate against that.
Yeah.
But it's not on TV. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. So there's no funding for it in that aspect. So maybe
Yeah.
it might be legit, but it just might be something where it's like they're just a couple of people who are like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
You know. So that was interesting. And yeah, just kind of moving on, moving forward.
What else has been sketchy?
Brand deals.
How?
We did a brand deal for this one person. I don't want to say the name,
Sure.
but this one person who was a content creator that I'd seen before a while back, and I was like, "This is interesting." I looked him up on Instagram, and I was like, "Okay, he has like 5 million followers on Instagram," and
engagement was really bad on this. I always look at stuff like that on Instagram, like 5 million followers, like 8,000 likes on a post, which in my opinion is not good.
Pretty low. Yeah.
And which the reason that's an immediate red flag for me is because you can see that a lot of times, and I'm like, okay, there's a reason this person has low engagement. Like if you saw 10 million followers but less than 10,000 views you'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All the big brands are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at Coca-Cola's page,
they have 100 million followers, but they get like 2K likes.
So many followers, but no views or likes. I'm like, did they purchase them?
I'm gonna guess, yeah.
They bought them?
I'm gonna guess. I mean, what else could it be?
Who else is following Coca-Cola?
I'm not following Coca-Cola.
No, yeah.
That's kind of my guess. But anyway, so we looked them up, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. We did an ad for them. We posted the video, and within 24 hours, the video got taken down. And we got a flag in our account. We couldn't post again for 3 days.
Why?
Illegal business activities.
Oh, interesting.
And we were like, what? Because the ad we did wasn't anything bad.
Yeah.
Like, we're careful about that stuff.
Yeah.
We know what could get taken down and stuff like that. And we were like, huh? And then we emailed the guy, and we were like, hey, this got taken down. Like, we don't want to repost it because if we get another flag, then we're banned for a week.
Yeah.
And he was like, he responded once and was like, oh, okay, I'll get it figured out. And then we emailed him like 7 times again after that over a course of a while.
Never
responded about anything. And then we missed out, They got 150,000 views for him.
You didn't pay anything?
No. But at the same time, whatever. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
That was probably our only really sketchy one. And then we still think to this day, we were like, I don't think that was a scam.
You think it was?
Yeah, I don't think that, because the type of ad it was like,
strange.
oh, all right, to sign up for this, go to his website, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then we were like, we probably shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't like TikTok didn't take it down for us being illegal. It was like whatever we're promoting
was illegal.
Was like, I guess not. I don't know. It wasn't anything to do with like guns or drugs or anything like that. I think it was just like this guy's starting up a business.
Maybe he didn't have an LLC or something. Who knows?
I don't know. And maybe it got flagged from someone. Maybe it got flagged from TikTok, and they were just like, just
because they already knew about it or something.
Maybe, yeah. So that was probably the sketchiest thing. I like these.
Yeah.
But you got a full wall, and then you got
this is
6 over here.
This is my office.
Are we in your office?
We're in my office.
Who's that?
That's Spencer.
The figment of your imagination.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, it was.
Don't you go into the? I can't remember what it's called, but Creator Live thing. In Miami, the Creator thing.
Oh yes, we're going to play this live.
When is that?
We're going to play this live in September.
It's in September? I thought it was in July.
No.
Okay.
No, that's after our wedding. September.
Okay.
October. November, one of those. Not December, though. Yeah, we're going to that. That's really cool.
That'd be sweet.
I was swiping through all the people that are going there, and they still keep releasing who's going. And I was like, wow, some of the people are like really like a lot bigger than Megan and I, right? So it's almost like, to me,
meet them.
To me, it's like an honor to like be invited.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I think we're kind of at the point where it's like, we're right here, and they invite people right here.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I was like,
at the cusp.
Let's go. You know what I mean? Which I'll take that any day. Dude.
Oh yeah.
Because I look at it as an opportunity. Is I'm going to go up to some creators there and talk to them and stuff like
For
that.
sure. Yeah.
And I'm really excited for that. So if anyone wants to meet me at Playlist Live, you can spend $100 on a ticket and buy the flights.
Spend $1,000 to come say hi.
Or you can run into me randomly at the Rehoboth Beach coffee shops.
Yeah.
Your choice. I'll be there.
I only charge $20 for a photo.
Yeah, $20
for a signature.
Dude, imagine. There's people who do that. Did you know that?
What? Charge for that stuff?
100%, dude.
Nah, really?
100%. There's tons of footage of people being like, I'll take a picture with you for $20. Take a picture with you for $40.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, bro, get the hell out of here. You're not that cool. Okay?
No.
You're not that cool.
Tom Cruise isn't that cool.
Most of the time, 50% of the time, people who meet Megan and I, they're like, hey, that's so cool. You guys are on, social. We've seen you guys a lot.
See ya.
And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, uh-huh. And I'm like, all right, peace out. Yeah. Like, that's it. That's it. That's literally it. And like sometimes you can tell when someone wants to take a picture, they'll have their phone out and they're like gripping it with all their might. And they're like, so you like waffles? And you're like, I love them.
You want to take a photo?
You want to take a photo? And then they're like, yeah, absolutely. And
I've been around you when you FaceTime people and stuff like that too. That's what I think is funny.
Yeah.
Like, my fiance's a big fan. You're like, give me your phone. FaceTime.
You want to know the most awkward instances in the world?
What?
Megan and I did a cornhole tournament because we do random shit like that.
We were like, we went to a cornhole
How'd
tournament.
you do in the tournament?
Everyone recognized the tournament for some odd reason. I was like, out of all
You're big as a cornhole
out
community.
of all places, we go to the cornhole tournament. Everyone was like, oh my god. And I was like, what? This doesn't make any sense.
You think they would be the ones that did it?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
But I think if we go to like, I don't know, a celebrity, not celebrity, but like an influencer meet and greet, I feel like no one would know who we are.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Which is very strange to me.
Yeah.
We're not celebrities by any means.
Right.
Yeah, what were you saying though?
No, we were talking. You said you went to a cornhole tournament.
Oh yeah, we went to a cornel tournament. We sucked. That's what you asked. You
Okay,
guys
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good.
How'd you do?
We got wrecked. We didn't realize people were going to be out there because it was $50 into the tournament.
Okay.
And there was probably 50 teams.
Okay.
First place was like $800. So you're not going to have small timers for $800 cornhole tournament. That's the big leagues in the cornhole world. Okay. I don't know if it actually is. I'm sure there's a lot of cornhole enthusiasts watching this right now, just because South Dakota is the cornhole central
Yeah.
capital of the world. It was fun. We lost 0-21 on the first match.
Oh my god.
The second was 2 out of 3, right?
Yeah.
Of course. 0-21. Again, these guys had a beer in their hand, a cigarette in their mouth. They had Cornhole 2020 champions on their shirt, state champions, and then one guy had national champions.
And he recognized you?
on their no.
Oh, okay.
They had national champions on their bag, and they were going, putting it in their hand,
Just smacking holes.
just sink. Megan and I looked like a bunch of fools out there that day. We did, dude. It was bad because I swear I went out there and I was like looking for it because they said it
So
50
far.
million miles away.
So
I'm like,
far.
when I play it at home, I'm like,
It's like 10 feet,
yeah.
20 feet.
They're like, all right, we're doing the regulated 900 feet. You know what I mean? These guys are going, woo. And I'm going, yeah. You know?
Yours like hits 5 feet.
It was
in front of
hitting 10 feet from all the time, dude. And then like the wind adjusting, and they're like, you know what I mean? And then you toss it, and it goes like, over, and they get it in. And you're like, what the hell, dude? Then the second team, we lost 0-21 and like 1-21. In the second team, but we had a good time.
That's all that
We had a
matters.
good time, Yeah, we had a lot of people recognize us there. To answer your question, I was like, this is the most awkward instance we ever had.
Oh yeah.
Was when the father came up to me and goes, "Hey, you guys are on this is how you did it on like the social media apps, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, like TikTok and stuff." And he was like, "Yeah. I don't know who you are, but can I get a video of you and send it to my daughter?" And I went, "Oh, so does she know who we are?" No. I was like, "Oh, why would you want a video of us then?" "Oh, I just think she'd find it cool." And I was like, "She may think this is really stupid." Right? So I was like, "Okay, what do you want?" Just like you guys hold each other and be like, "Hey, Claire, it's us, Megan and Jack. We just want to say, hey, we have a great day." And I was like, "Fuck, dude, okay." "All right, go." "Hey, Claire, it's me, Jack. My fiance.
Supposed to be having a great
We're
day.
having a really good day today." She probably got that. She was like, "What the
Who the
hell
hell are
is
these
this?"
people?
What is this? Oh man, another incident. Like you said, the FaceTime stuff. We
Yeah.
had this old couple that were like 60. We were talking to them. He was like, he worked for a warehouse, something like that. And they're like, "What do you do for a living?" And then we were like, "Oh, we make content, blah blah blah." And then what the hell is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we were like, "Oh, blah blah blah." And they were like, "Oh my god, we're gonna FaceTime our daughter." And I was like, "God dang it, dude."
Yeah.
So we FaceTime and she goes, "Hey." She was like 11.
Didn't recognize you at all.
No, I didn't know how we were, right? And she was
They're
like,
like,
and then
"You
she was
know
like, she was like, "This is Megan and Jack. They got 2 million followers on TikTok." And then I was like, "Ah," and she was like, "The daughter, coolest person ever." "Oh, really? Oh, right on. I make videos myself." And I was like, "Oh, cool. What's your account?" So I looked it up, and she had like 2,000 followers, something like that. She was like, "Yeah," and she was like, "That's pretty cool. You guys are doing that though. Good for you." And I was like, "You're like 11. Why are you acting so mature?" You know what I mean? I don't get it. So that was a pretty cool instance, and then we had some other awkward FaceTimes though. We were like, "Wait right here. Billy's gonna answer." Wait, doesn't answer. Just wait right here. I swear to God, he's gonna answer. The funnest time though was when I grabbed the phone from that lady, and then I was like, "I'll FaceTime him."
In Arizona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he was like, "Huh?" Yeah, it was super cool though. He was
Is he like nervous?
no, I wasn't really nervous.
No?
I'd say for the most part, people are nervous. We've had some pretty awkward instances where people like are literally shaking, but that's like, I'm like, I don't know why you're shaking, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just make videos and put them on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I'm just posting content. But
Who's the most like cool person you've talked to that's an influencer as well? Like to you, like someone you looked up to, you're like, oh, cool, I got to talk to them now. Anybody like that or not really?
I think it was like when I first started TikTok, I had all these creators.
Wait, touch that with your nose.
It was entertaining.
You have to Germex it.
When I first started, when I had less than 1,000 followers, I was like, I had all these creators I looked up to, and really, really liked. When I started doing it, I got an understanding of why they're there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it made me not like them less, but look at them completely different.
Totally. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I think it would be the same way if...
I did that with real estate people.
I think it would be the same way if I was a billionaire.
Yeah.
And I met Jeff Bezos. If I met Jeff Bezos right now, I'd be like, dude, this is freaking... Like, I'm sure he has his problems, right?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are like, I hate him and stuff like that.
Whatever. Yeah.
But Rich is one of the richest men in the world, right?
Yeah.
So I'd be like, dude, what's up? You know what I mean? Out of all people, the wealthiest people in the world is probably who would be the coolest people in the world for me to meet.
Same. Yeah.
Not the most famous.
Yeah.
Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, sure, it would be cool. Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
You already know exactly how I'd be.
But hey, what's that? Yucky, you squeeze breaks my arm in half. But like Elon Musk, all those people, I'm just like, I'm infatuated by them. But I feel like with the whole like followers and stuff like that, I've met some cool people. Aaron Doe's a really nice guy. I don't know if anyone knows who he is. He was a Viner back in the day, and then he does TikTok. He's cool. And then he followed me back, and then we streamed one time together, which I thought was cool.
That's sweet.
And then,
You ever heard of Aaron Doe?
it's not a big deal. He's very specific type of content. And then Austin and Lexi are another couple.
Yep.
They're really cool. Really like Austin. I get along with them really well. Lexi's really cool. Lexi's really smart. She's like the methodical one in the relationship. Austin is the more hyper, the energy in the relationship. So they blend well together.
Yeah.
Sam and Monica, we met up with them. They're really nice. And Sam and Monica are definitely like the definition of like set the camera and roll, because they're very like we're just
Animated people?
ourselves. No, they're not animated.
No?
That's
I've never
in
watched
my
the content,
opinion. But they're very just smooth, casual. Sam's really good because he's British, so he's just himself. You know, I don't know, it's the worst accent in the world. But we did a video with him where I was like, oh, I'm British. You know, I thought it was funny. I asked him if I could do that. He has permission.
Nobody else were cool?
I'm sure there's tons of them that are cool. Like,
No, I mean like nobody else that you like looked up to for a long time that you finally can talk to? Not really?
man, maybe Abby Herbert. I don't know if you know who Abby Herbert.
Yeah.
Do you know who Abby Herbert is? She followed us back a while ago, and I thought that was pretty cool because Abby's such a big name in like the couple world.
Mhm.
Like she's like one of the top in the couple world, and I thought it was pretty cool because like we did a friends only post one time, and then she gave us some advice on something, and I think that was pretty cool because she's such a big creator. They're such big YouTubers, such big Instagram, you know, everything. She's a model for Target and stuff like that, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
And Megan found that cool too, because Megan's wanted to get into modeling for some time, and I told her she could do it absolutely, especially now she could.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know. I feel like everyone's like, I'm down to learn from people, and everyone has their own little bursts of like success, and you can see who's like hammered down on one thing. Like Matt and Abby, for example, they did really, really good for a while. Still do good, but like they had a really good burst because they were, she was pregnant.
Yeah.
They did like 27. I don't know if you know who Matt and Abby is. Yep, they're another couple.
You can use that to your advantage almost.
And it's helped me realize what we need to do. For
Gotta get
things.
it pregnant. I'm just kidding. It's time, dude.
I think it's time.
Content's getting dry, baby.
I think we need to get the baby out of here. No, but the thing is, I look at it as we need to not rely on that, right? No, I don't think they relied on it. They had good content beforehand.
Yeah.
But we did not ever get to the point where we're like, let's just have a kid so it's better for content. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? If we have a kid, we have a kid. You know, and if anything, it's like, oh, we do some good videos with it. With it. With whatever the being is over here. But, yeah. I don't really have any other creators that... For the most part, if you think about other creators too much, you actually start doing worse.
Totally. Yeah. It's that with everything, dude. I agree. Like, we're going back to, like, the goal thing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, for me, I have to not focus on an outcome, especially an outcome for the year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the business world is so, like, what's your goal this year?
Yeah.
Give me your goal this year. How are you going to do it?
Yeah.
You know? For me, I have to just focus on the stuff I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, how do I do this better? How do I do this better? How do I do this
Mhm.
better?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that, 100%. Yeah, it kind of gets like...
If I focus on the goal too much, I get, like, anxiety if I'm behind. and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh shit, I'm behind.
Comparison
I get
really
pissed.
kills you,
I get
too.
pissed. Yeah.
I think that's a really true statement. Is that comparison can really mess you up.
I'll get it in here sometimes. Like last year, I don't know what I was exactly, but I want to say like there's 120 agents in our office, and I was like top 10 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10, 5. I don't know, somewhere in the very top.
Impressive.
I know, dude. But it was funny because first off, I had no clue
Uh-huh.
because I don't pay attention to anybody else.
Yeah.
Second off, people were like, "Dude, congrats on a big year," and everybody was saying that to me, and I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't look at it that way at all.
Yeah.
I was more just like, dang, I want to do more of this, I want to do more of this, I want to do more of this. And I wasn't thinking anything about what I did. And I was like, man, that's the best I've ever done with not caring at all.
I think that mindset's important to have.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
I think that mindset's good to have. I could be wrong, and like maybe when I'm 40, I'm sure when I'm 40, my mindset's going to be very different.
Yeah,
But maybe when I'm 40, I'm going to be like, I shouldn't have had that mindset.
maybe.
But see, there's also people who you learn from who are 60 who are like, yeah, I shouldn't have been when I was younger, but that's how they got that way. To where they
Dude,
were.
I think about that all the time when people are like, oh, if I could go back, I'd do this differently. And I'm like,
Would you?
how do you know you'd achieve the same thing?
Butterfly effect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
butterfly effect. That's a great way to put it. I don't even know what that means, but
But I love it.
no, but I think I get it. Like I got immediately what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're kind of like it's kind of like you only see the beauty or something in the
It's
past.
just that everything has to happen exactly the way it did for you to be in this time. Like,
Oh.
Yeah, and also-
with giving and taking.
Mhm.
My brain goes to a weird place with that stuff. I always think like, people are like, oh, I wish I would have done this. Just to say that, for example. I wish I would have known social media was going to be a big deal.
Sure.
Right? But if you would have known social media was going to be a big deal, let's say you use the content, you got super famous. You go decide, oh my God, I'm so famous, I'm going to go buy a beach house in Puerto Rico. Okay?
Yeah.
You go to Puerto Rico, you were there during the hurricane,
And you die.
a tree fell over and killed you.
It's
Instead,
a dark way to look at things, but I like it.
no, but for real,
I
you
get what
don't
you're
know
saying.
what the hell would have happened.
It's a
Like,
great point.
Just because you would have made an extra $1 million doesn't mean you would have enjoyed your life anymore.
Mhm.
Or maybe you would have got caught up in some scheme, went to prison. I don't know.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Just like alternate universes.
Yeah, you never
Yeah.
freaking know what could
I
have
believe in
happened.
alternate universes.
So just saying like, oh, I wish I would have done this. How do you know you wish that?
It's a good point.
You don't
It's
know
a really
you
good
wish
point.
that.
Oh, I
You know
agree
what I
with that. Absolutely agree with that. 100%. I
Or
think
like
that's
saying you
awesome.
missed the boat on something, or another one I love is when people are like, God, if I wasn't in that crappy relationship, dude. I'm like, that crappy relationship might have saved you from something else, dude.
100%.
You know? You have no clue
100%. People blame
about everything.
blame.
Yeah.
100%. They blame on everything.
I really think there's nothing else except for yourself, really, and how you respond to things.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think 97% of the time, or 99% of the time, I should say. Let's say 98. Let's go even on
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
It's your fault when it comes to things. And I'm not talking
It's
about
not your fault what happened to you.
no.
but
It's
it's
your fault how you
definitely-
reacted to it.
Definitely. And what you do with it.
Like if lightning strikes you, obviously it's not your fault. That's what I mean by the other.
You should have been outside.
Nature. But like, if Megan gets mad at me for something I did, then the way I said something,
Mhm.
I probably said it the wrong way.
Yeah. No, totally. Agreed.
And even if I was just like, babe, don't do that, like it wasn't me, then I probably shouldn't have said it like that.
Mhm.
I should probably like, hey babe, would you mind not doing that next time, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
I mean, please.
Don't beat me either.
Yeah. But I think a lot of it is a lot of people blame things on circumstances. If these dang taxes didn't exist, it's like, dude, I pay a lot of taxes. You know what I mean? But I suck it up and move on.
Right.
Same.
Same.
Or if a big thing in the Twitch community is if Twitch didn't take half the money we get donated, I'm
But
like,
if Twitch didn't exist, you made no
Twitch
money.
didn't exist, you literally have nothing.
Yeah.
So, and they're like, I'm gonna go over to Skits of Scott's Gaming and,
Yeah.
and stream from there instead, even though it has 100 monthly users. It's like good luck.
Yeah.
I just think it's like I think we're fortunate. People say this a lot, but we're fortunate in the country we're in.
Mm-hmm.
We are. As much as a lot of people hate a lot of things that happens, I still think we're fortunate.
I agree.
I think that we're fortunate we're on top of it as far as technology. Because if I lived in, some third world country, social media doesn't even exist there.
Right.
So, I'm really thankful for that. 100%.
Or if you're born in like the 1500s, your best case scenario for someone who was an entertainer was to be like a jester.
For the king, and I'd hope one day I didn't mess up and he killed me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, that's a great point.
Yeah.
I'd be one hell good of a jester, though. A hell good of a
Hell
jester.
good of a jester.
Not a hell of a good jester. I'd be one hell good of a jester. I think, I don't know, man. I just try to not think about other people. And I try to help people if they need help with anything.
But don't compare yourself.
But don't compare yourself. I definitely try to learn from people. One day you're going to have a video you make. Someone's going to take that exact video idea, post it on their account, and it's going to do 10 times as good as yours did.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just executed it better. Or it was just better timing. Or, you know what I mean? A lot of things. And then vice versa. They're going to video they did, and you go, that's a good idea. You know? As long as you give credit where it's due, I think that's really important. If you got help from someone. It's a big thing in the creator world that's always fought about, is credit, not credit. People taking ideas, that type of thing. A lot of people use the excuse of, it's TikTok, take the idea, who cares?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, tagging them doesn't do anything, but we always do. We always tag if we get an idea from someone because we think it's not necessarily good. We think it's kind of arrogant to not tag.
You know, I think you should try to, I don't know, get on with or meet. It would be cool to meet like Gary Vee or something, just because he's kind of the one who got you into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
See if you reply, but he respond to you.
When people ask me why I started social media, it's usually because I'm like, I kept seeing these videos of Gary Vee saying, you need to be on TikTok, you need to be on TikTok. And I was like, okay, fine. You know what I mean? And then really sparked it, though, was when you hit a certain amount of views on one of your TikToks. And then I went, well, if he can hit it.
I for sure can. But it was like the most boring video.
You showed me the video, and I was like, I think I can do that.
Yeah.
You know? That was back when TikTok was very different.
That was at the beginning of 2020.
That was when Musical.ly just switched over.
Yeah. Or end of 2019, I think, actually.
I feel like I am fortunate on the time that I got on it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get on it when it was all pure, what the hell is this type videos.
Yeah, weird stuff.
But it was 50-50.
It wasn't all people purring like cats and dancing to music or something.
Yeah, well, dancing to music, who does that? But, yeah, not even that stuff. More so just like we were talking about the Crows Bros.
Yeah.
You know? You don't see.
They were the biggest creators when we first started.
They were huge, and they were huge because they started on Musical.ly.
Yeah.
Musical.ly was still there when we got on TikTok. It was still there.
Yeah, you're right.
But it's not. It doesn't exist anymore. Maybe occasionally, it's like once a year, Lauren Gray or someone will post some random Musical.ly title, and people are like, "Oh, back in the day," you know. That's it. You know, it's now like Instagram and Facebook in a way, and YouTube. And it's normal content.
And all age groups are on it too.
Yeah. There's some people who say it's a children's app, which I think is funny.
There's 1 billion people on there.
I know.
It's a children's
But there
app.
is still people who are like, I don't get on there.
All the creators I see on there are adults.
And I'm like, you just watch my videos on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, true.
That's literally what you do. That's
True.
what Spencer was just telling me.
Yeah.
How it's like, it's just recycled content on other platforms from
Yeah.
TikTok. So, yeah. It's crazy. It's wild. I'm always thinking about it nonstop. I'm not kidding.
Always think about what nonstop.
Just content.
Yeah.
That's just, I can't stop. And I know sometimes Megan will be like annoyed because I'm like, hey, oh my God, I just thought of the greatest idea. You know, in the middle of us watching a movie at a movie theater. You know, like,
let's run out here.
No, but I'll be like, I'll get on my phone. She's like, get off your phone. I'm like, I just gotta write this down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I'm just like, and she does that sometimes too. But I definitely probably stress about it a little too much. I will say.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Who knows what that means? Even.
Consistency at the end of the day is the biggest thing I think on social media.
With anything, probably.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Not posting 4 times a day or 10 times a day. You know.
Some people do and are really successful with it, though.
Some people do.
Like, you know who Meet Kevin is on YouTube? He posts like 10 videos a day. Kills it.
XQC does that. Posts
Yeah.
like 3 a day. You know who that is?
That's solid, dude.
We're just
We
getting
can wrap this
started.
thing up, though. It's already 2:30.
Nice.
Pretty crazy.
I don't know if I talked to you. What did you want to talk about?
I had nothing I wanted to talk about.
Oh, really?
I don't come in here with like
Open
an
mic
agenda.
night.
Yeah, I don't
Open
come
mic
in here.
night.
I don't ever come in here with an agenda
Nice.
or anything personally, but I just let people talk about what they want to talk about. Also, reason I did this podcast, I think I said this in the last podcast I did, but was to be able to meet people and not have an awkward reason to meet them. You know what I mean?
Not just go eat noodles.
Yeah, like, hey, can I buy you coffee and talk to you?
Yeah.
But I was like, but if I get them on here, I can talk to them, learn about them, and also they can get something out of it. Get a little bit of following, if they're like I've had business people on here, every single time they get some clientele or something out of it.
Mhm.
That was the reason I did it.
Nice.
Maybe I get you a couple followers, dude.
Good try. Maybe I'll get you some.
Yeah, sure, you probably will.
Vice versa.
You probably will.
I'm just messing with you.
Well, what was crazy, remember when we did over Christmas, we were like, let's see if you posted me on your story, how many followers I would get from it. I got 0, dude. 0 followers from that, remember?
You know what's so funny about
What?
that? Lindsay, we posted her on a story, she got to 180.
What the hell, dude?
Females are much more modern.
Yeah, that's very true.
100%.
People are like, it's a dude, skip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack's brother, whatever.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Megan's sister.
Oh my god.
She makes crazy content. But yeah, no,
Maybe she has an OnlyFans. Yeah, literally. That's probably what they were thinking. That's hilarious.
No, but yeah, it's interesting. Like she's been on her TikToks and stuff like that. And they really like that, you know. Oh.
Well, if he starts yawning, you know it's time to go, dude.
Yeah.
Time to go get some Black Hills Blend. Shout out.
Shout out Black Hills Blend, we love you.
Yeah, we're gonna hear
I really like that. I don't know if you drink their coffee. Do you drink coffee? Okay. Wasn't sure if you're like a Red Bull only type person.
Well, that and Scooters is my jam right now.
Scooters?
But
Scoot.
Yeah.
I worked for Starbucks for a year and a half, so I'm kind of.
I just take Starbucks. I get it. I actually am genuinely. I hate Starbucks.
Really?
I drink it
just
all the
makes me
time.
It's too.
I still like it.
Inconsistent for me. I
I
never
agree
get the
with
same
that.
drink twice.
Really? I gotta say,
Personally.
I change it up like every 6 months to get something different.
Yeah.
And right now I'm on a vanilla sweet cream cold brew kick.
With
Love
extra
it.
sweet cream.
Extra sweet cream. Okay, I want
Top
extra
tier.
sweet cream.
Megan
She
gets her
orders it.
strawberry and her sweet cream. Strawberry puree
Yeah,
blended in.
yeah.
That's
Probably annoying to make.
disgusting.
It's really not that bad.
No.
I
It's
hate
the
strawberries.
secret menu shit. That
Oh, okay,
is
got you.
terrible.
Oh, it's
Because
not
you
that
have
bad.
no clue what to do.
Not that hard to make.
Can I get a Galapagos Island drink? And you're
The
like,
Cosmo-
what?
But right now,
Where are we?
it's my office, dude. All right, man. Well, thanks for being on.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, sir.
How you doing?
Good to meet you.
Yeah.
And,
I'm gonna make a handshake.
okay, real one.
There you go.
Thanks for watching, guys. Follow. I'll post.
Were you,
not
about to,
post-
were you about to say fall?
I'm
What?
not gonna post jack shit anywhere. You can
Fine.
find.
You don't post.
Type in Jack on TikTok and you'll find it probably.
No, I doubt it.
I bet you can find him.
If you type in Jack, if you type in Megan, it'll pop up Megan and Jack. Her names first.
You did it on purpose, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like saying by the spotlight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I let her take the
I
spotlight.
got you.
I just do the podcast, that type of thing.
Do the PR, get us popular, get us the deals. Nothing important.
Yeah, I just get us all the money. Actually, no, she was like the main negotiator for us.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Because I was like, you know what? If I spend too much effort on it, then I'm going to lose all my creativity thought. And
I'll let you lose your creativity and I'll focus on
no, that's what I'm
I
talking
know,
about.
okay.
Because she has dispersive energy, like I
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah.
And the more I do, the more I drain from that consistentness. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But she's more so the one who focused on that. But now we have an ad agency that we signed with a month ago. So
Normal.
I'm thankful.
So average.
Whatever.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.
See you the next time. Peace.